Many engines prefer pulling coaches instead of freight cars. One of the reasons why is because freight cars can often be a lot of trouble. Oliver, the Great Western engine, doesn't mind taking freight because of his Brakevan, Toad. Toad always keeps a good lookout for Oliver, which makes pulling freight trains much easier. Whenever Toad thought something was wrong, no one even tried to question him, as he is very well trusted and respected. There was once a part of the line that was unstable and could be dangerous to cross. Oliver was pulling some logs from a cut-down tree to the junction when he crossed over this piece of track. He didn't think much of it, but when Toad crossed over it, he felt a jerk and saw that the rails were becoming loose. He was worried that the next train to go over it wouldn't make it. When they got to the junction, Toad told the signalman about the piece of track. "I don't think it's stable for engines to go across," he said. "I think we should repair the line before there's another train on it." "Oh no," said the signalman. "Duck should be arriving with the passenger train soon and is supposed to be going over that line." Toad was worried. The signalman telephoned the signalman near that line, but it was too late. "Duck has already been through here," he said. Everyone was scared and frozen when Duck came puffing up to the platform. "What do you all seem so worried about?" he asked. Toad was confused. "Was the track loose at all on the way here, Mr. Duck?" "Not really. Nothing out of the ordinary." Toad didn't know what to think. He thought he was losing his mind. That night at the sheds, Toad was talking to Oliver about the line. "I could have sworn that track was slumping down, Mr. Oliver. He should have come off the rails." "Well, the important thing is that he didn't, Toad. Just relax and try not to worry as much." "I suppose you're right, Mr. Oliver. Thank you for the advice." They didn't know that the signalman was wrong about what line Duck was going over. He really went over the other track on the line, which was perfectly fine. Toad was right about the track being unstable, but unfortunately, it was unknown to them. The next morning when they were getting ready for the day, Toad decided that he was going to try to be less strict about things, and as Oliver told him, relax. Oliver and Toad headed to the yards. The trucks knew about what happened with Toad. "Looks like old Toad is losing his marbles, huh?" they joked. Usually Toad whips the trucks into shape, but after what happened, he decided to not say anything and just go with the flow. The trucks took advantage of this. "We can get away with all sorts of stuff now," they thought. This was bad for Oliver, because there were many times that a good Brakevan helped out a lot. He was getting the trucks together, and they were slipping their brakes on. "Bother!" Without Toad to keep them in order, it made shunting difficult. Toad thought it looked like Oliver was struggling, but he thought he might be worrying too much. "It's for the best," he said to himself. "It's for the best." Eventually, Oliver got the trucks in a train, and they were off. But the trouble was only beginning. The trucks continued to slip their brakes on and make the train stop. "Not again!" Oliver was becoming impatient, and he wanted to tell Toad to help, but he couldn't get his attention since he was so far away. They were approaching a hill. If a train were to stop on it, it would be a pain to get started again. Oliver was almost over the top, and, big surprise, the trucks put their brakes on and made the train stop. "Great! I guarantee that we'll be here for hours," Oliver said. But the trucks had other ideas. "Don't worry," they said. "How about we give you a push?" They pushed him over the hill, made him lose control. "Oh no," he shouted. "I can't stop!" Toad couldn't hear Oliver, and he thought they were going a little fast, but he decided it wasn't too bad. "Mr. Oliver's probably making up for lost time," he thought. "There's nothing wrong with that." They were racing past the seaside at a dangerous speed. "If I don't get control of the train now, we'll pass the station," he said. Suddenly, the train braked and stopped. Oliver was confused. Why would the truck slip the brakes on now, he thought. But when his crew went to check the truck's brakes, none of them were on. Then they looked at Toad. His brakes were hard on. "The track," he said. They looked over and saw that the piece of track Toad was talking about yesterday really was unstable. Well, well, well," he said. "Looks like I'm not so crazy after all." Then they heard Duck's whistle. He was coming down the track with the passenger train. "We must stop him," Toad shouted. The guard blew his whistle and waved Duck down. Duck stopped just in time. "That was a close one," said Duck. "Thank you, Toad." "You're welcome, Mr. Duck." He then turned his attention towards the trucks. "This trip is going to be a lot more different from here on out," he said. "There will be no more nonsense." The trucks didn't even try to do anything else. When they got to the station, Oliver and Toad were resting in a siding. "Well, Toad," Oliver said, "you may worry about things often, but I'll never doubt you about it again." "Thank you, Mr. Oliver. You've learned quite a valuable lesson today." "What's that, Toad?" "The Brakevan is always right."